most people don't know that 1 out of every 3 small businesses that gets hacked ends up shutting down as a result. Hi, I'm Dr. Christine Izuakor, and I'm excited to introduce you to my company, Cyber Pop-Up, which is an on-demand freelance platform for cybersecurity services. Now, before I jump in, I want to start with a quick question. How did you spend your favorite New Year's Eve? Where you may be watching fireworks, maybe partying with friends. These are all really normal ways to celebrate New Year's Eve. But I'm going to tell you about Chris's atypical New Year's Eve. You see, while you were out maybe popping bottles of champagne, Chris was at home stressed out because they had major cyber issues that could shut their company down. And so Chris was up all night working to fix these issues alone. But Chris isn't alone. 76% of companies experienced a breach in the last year, yet most companies don't have access to a cyber expert. And that's a problem because no matter what your cybersecurity issues are, this is serious business. It's also a highly specialized field. And so when you think about options people try using today, traditional freelance platforms like Upwork or Fiverr are not vetted, nor are they specialized in this field. On the other hand, large traditional consulting firms are trustworthy and deliver great results, but are too expensive and slow for small businesses. And so that's where we come in. Cyber Pop-Up is the first to market platform that connects you with vetted experts right when you need them the most. We offer subscriptions and fixed price projects. Either way, once you submit your support request, high quality freelancers get the job done. Now, we target small and medium-sized businesses. There are 30 million in the US, but we're focusing on the ones who feel this pain the most. They don't have a cyber expert in-house and they are begging for help. Our secret weapon to reach that 1 million customers is through channel partnerships. So closing deals with just 2 partners in our pipeline would bring us approximately 4,000 customers valued at up to $43 million in revenue. And then we rinse, repeat, and scale up from there. And so where are we today? Well, in pre-revenue engine mode, we've managed to deliver on over 170K in projects, all with a 100% success rate. And big names are recognizing the innovation and impact and are enlisting to help. And so today, we're in a position where we have a multi-million-dollar pipeline on hold, and all that stands in our way is an investment in our technology and our people. And so any grants that we win right now are acting as a critical bridge of funding to get us to our seed round. Now back to Chris and that faithful New Year's Eve. So that was not a fictitious story. I am Chris. That is how I rang in my 2015 New Year's Eve. And so I know what it's like to be in the trenches, but I'm also obsessed with this industry, and that's proven in my background. I was the youngest student and first African-American woman to earn a PhD in security engineering and have a decade of Fortune 100 experience in cybersecurity. And so my team and I are all working tirelessly towards our vision, which is to be the most trusted platform for cybersecurity services and empower businesses to maybe, just maybe, make that champagne toast at midnight after all.
Thank you. All right, champions. Here we go. Who's up?
Chris, you don't know who I am, but I am your ICP. I'm the director of operations at a startup. And right now, we are trying to figure out how, without a CISO, are we going to meet the requirements for cyber information and data security that our customers require of us. However, when I'm interviewing or trying to talk to experts about these kinds of programs, word of mouth for me means everything, because when you're talking about security, you're talking about like security, right? So when you're using the term freelancers, like I'm pulling away, because how can I trust just any, am I trusting this platform and this site? And you guys are vetting these freelancers or these experts, perhaps you want to call them, maybe you want to think about that. But how can I put my trust in what you're creating? Because it's a market where you've got a lot to prove, right? If one thing goes wrong, then, your business could be brought down and someone else's business could really, really suffer. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question. This is actually something that we got feedback on very early on when I first brought this idea out to the market. And so we listened very closely to our customers on what would make them comfortable. And there's a couple of different things. One is transparency and how we vet and bring these freelancers in, which we have a very solid process for vetting and looking into certifications and so on that we share with our customers. The second piece of that is implementing a layer of quality control across all projects where they're not just getting handed off to some random random, freelancer or random expert. They're actually able to interface with someone who works within Cyber Pop-Up and is an expert, and they're able to sort of provide that extra layer of trust as well.
I have a question in regard to your target market. I know you said small businesses, but small businesses fall across the spectrum, and sometimes small businesses don't even know that they need this this level of cybersecurity because they believe that the platforms that they're currently using, Shopify, all of that, has it for them. So is that market a part of what you're going after? How would you reach them? And then what would you offer them?
Yeah, sure. So we initially, when I started this, cast a very wide net. We weren't sure exactly who felt this pain the most. And I think it's through our first customers that we understood very clearly that it is those small businesses. So the way that we define it and what we go after are the small businesses who have a tech team or a tech person in-house but don't have a cyber expert. Because those are the ones where it's like that tech person is overwhelmed. They know they're facing different cybersecurity regulation issues and all kinds of things that they just either don't understand, don't have the skill set to deliver on, and don't have the bandwidth and so on. And so we specifically target people in that sort of sweet spot. And then in terms of how we get to them, so I talked about the channel partnership strategy that we have. So we very intentionally shifted from doing one-to-one direct sales with small businesses, which we were growing at a pretty steady pace. But we started focusing on how can we get this to scale. And that's where we sort of discovered our secret sauce on this partner side, where there's basically these organizations who work with thousands of small businesses. And because of the way that supply chain attacks work, like a small business can get hacked and that can lead them to jump over to a large business. Those large businesses are now trying to figure out how can we secure at scale all of these small companies that we're working with. And so we're going after that big partner that can bring us, thousands of customers at one point in time to solve their problem, and it in turn secures the small business, but we don't have to convince that small business because it's coming from their partner.
And what's your ask? Did we see a slide on what she's raising or asking? I don't think we did.
Yeah, so I'm formally right now raising a $3 million seed round. And so that's going to go towards our first milestone of onboarding 2 partners and reaching 4,000 customers. And the way that we're going to deploy that capital is by investing in our platform. There's an entire technology roadmap and vision around that, growing our team out more, and then also continuing to grow the freelancer base in a way that is, of course, trustworthy.
All right. Thank you so much.
To vote, visit Razorfy.co and select today's event. Enter your donation for the pitches you love and click the donate button to proceed to checkout. Review and confirm your donation once more by tapping donate. And finally, key in your payment info to cast your vote. Voting will be open for 7 days. And remember, there is a $5 minimum for your vote to count. Your donation keeps a Black or brown women in business. You are changing the world with Black Girl Ventures.